we're going to go through perimeter and area with semicircles. Okay? So I have this object here. And I guess the first thing we'll look at is the perimeter of the object. The perimeter is the outlining border of it. Okay? And if you notice, what we have here is a semicircle. So I want to draw your attention to the diameter of a semicircle. The diameter of this semicircle will be equal to what? That's right, 2.1. It's the exact same distance as the top and the bottom of this. So I know the diameter is 2.1. Now this is a semicircle, and I have formulas for the perimeter or the outlining. And what is the perimeter or outlining called? That's right, it's called circumference. Circumference of a circle, not a semicircle, but a full circle. Yeah, it's 2 pi r, you could say. Or you could say diameter times pi. And the reason for this relationship is because 2 times the radius is equal to the diameter. The diameter is the complete distance across, and the radius is half of that. And we will need to figure out the radius once we go to find the area of this. So I'm going to find the circumference of the entire circle, okay, from the bottom and top. So we're going to plug our values in, and since I have diameter, I'll use this question here for it. The circumference is equal to 2.1 times pi. Okay. The diameter is 2.1. So, with our calculator here, we'll take 2.1 times pi is equal to 6.59, about 6.6. So, the circumference of this is 6.6, but I only need how much of that circumference? Half. Semi means to cut in half. So at the very end of this, what I want to do to find that part is I'm going to divide it by 2. So the part that we need is actually a distance of 3.3 meters. And that makes sense that this curved part here, 3.3 meters, is longer than the straight line at this point. It almost looks like a 3. Okay, so now that we have that, to find the perimeter of this object, I'm going to add the sides together. We have 3.3, 2.1, and what is the distance of this side here? That's right. It's identical to our other one. So our total perimeter will be equal to 5.2 plus 5.2. No, it cannot multiply. Plus 3.3 plus 2.1. Oh, you could do 5.2 times 2 also. When we add all of these together, who could help me out here? 12.7? Excellent. So 12.7 meters is the perimeter of this object. Now let's say we're actually looking to solve the area. And the area would be the space taken up. Okay. Now, unfortunately, the space taken up isn't just one object. It's kind of 2 shapes together here. What we're going to do is we're going to find the area of the entire rectangle, okay, so including this, and then we're going to find the area of the semicircle and subtract the area of that semicircle. So let's define these shapes. I'm going to look for the area of the rectangle, and I'm going to look for the area of the, and I'm just going to call it a circle for now. But we know we have to divide it by 2 at the end. So in fact, I'll say area of a circle divided by 2. So the total area will be equal to the area of the rectangle, subtract the area of the circle divided by 2. That's important for us. Okay. So let's talk about area of a circle. Area of a circle is what formula? It doesn't have to do with circumference. It is definitely, though, pi r squared. Now we need the radius, and we technically didn't figure it out yet. What is the radius of this semicircle here? Yeah, we have to divide 2.1 by 2. What is it? 1.05. Perfect. So we figured out that the radius, sorry, I'll write it up there, is 1.05. That's supposed to be just a decimal, not like that. Okay. I know. So, our radius is 1.05 squared. I'm going to have to square that value and then multiply by pi. So I take 1.05 squared times pi is equal to 3.46. So the area of the circle is 3.46. Is that right? Did I say that wrong? Not 3.46. But remember, we need to divide it by 2. So I'm going to take this value and divide it by 2 at the end here. Luckily, the number's still in my calculator. So I divide this by 2, and we'll get 1.73. So 1.73 is the area of this space, the part that we're going to have to subtract from the total area. Okay? So under here, we know we'll be subtracting by 1.73. Okay. Area of a rectangle. How do we find the area of this rectangle here? That's right. Just our length times width. So our area of our rectangle, and we'll call it base times height. What's the base and the height here? Yeah, 5.2. So we take 2.1 multiplied by 5.2. 10.92. Excellent. So that is our area of our rectangle. 10.92. So our total here is equal to 10.92. Subtract 1.73. 9.19. And this is meters squared because it's area. So we did the area and the perimeter both in this question.